Hey everyone, it's Courageous and I am here with a VR. So this tag is hashtag recent 5 top 3 tarot. So what this tag is, and this is a VR, I found the tag on Common Hayward's channel, which they did a VR to Tarot, Toke, and Witchery. This is the original tag creator, Tarot, Toke, and Witchery. The links to both of their videos will be in the description box below. So the tag, what it is taking the your last 5 decks and choosing your top 3 cards from those decks. So it's Tarot, Token, Witchery's motivation behind the tag is just to kind of track their aesthetic throughout their tarot buying purchases, to see what kind of art and attracts them to click the buy button on a specific deck. So I'm cheating because mine are not, my recent 5 decks are include 2 oracles. So there's 3 tarot decks and 2 oracle decks. And yeah, let's get started. So my most recent, the last deck that I purchased was the True Heart Tarot. I did a walkthrough of that and you can find it somewhere, either in the description box or in the cards. And I wasn't really, I was really excited about the deck at first, but then I was kind of disappointed. So but at least this tag made me look through cards that I liked and appreciated and forced me to find 3 that I liked. I did end up with more than 3, so I did like a lot. I did like more cards than I thought in retrospect, but I just didn't really like the deck. As excited as I was for the deck, and I did pre-order it, I was disappointed. But I digress. So my top 3 cards are not in order, but I really, really love the Death card in this deck. So I just love how we have this person like opening their ribs and kind of like doing the same thing. I don't know. I just really love the images. It's just kind of like this shedding of your skin, kind of like, I don't know. I just feel like it's mimicking a regeneration, like a snake shedding its skin, except it's a person. And also just kind of like opening yourself up to this possibility of transformation. It's a beautiful card, and it was my favorite of one of my favorites of this deck. The next card is the 9 of Wands. I love the 9 of Wands, and I love how this, we see this progression, right, to standing up, right? I'm hunched over, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, but I'm getting back up, and I will stand, and I will keep pushing, I will keep fighting, I will keep defending myself. It's just, I love that motion. Like, we know, and it's like, it's not only a forward, it's not even like starting there. It can also hunch backwards. So I just love the motion of the 9 of Wands. And my final card for this deck is the 4 of Cups. I am very much a 4 of Cups personality, sometimes when I get into my mood. But I love that. First, I love this peeking eye here. Like, we're being watched by someone in another dimension, another universe or something. And I also love, like, we have the 3 upright cups, and this person is just so over it that they're using 1 cup to cover up the rose, like covering up what's beautiful. Like, that's, I get it. I really get it. So I really like this card. Now, the next deck I got is an oracle deck, and I also did a walkthrough, and it'll be somewhere. And it is the Threadbound Oracle, and this is by Cedar McLeod, the creator of the Numinous Tarot. So the first card that I really like, and this Oracle deck is based on on novel structure, on writing structure, because it goes with the companion novel that Cedar McLeod wrote. So the first one I like is the Dance. So one of the cards in the deck is the protagonist, and that is the protagonist right there, dancing with their love interest, which is another card in the deck. And I just love, they're dancing underneath the night sky and Stonehenge. There's something just magical about it. And the key words for this is trust, body, catharsis. And it's just, we see them and we see these circles, like these circles just kind of give me that sense of union, of trust, right? Of being at one, right? Because it says body, and then it's just a beautiful, like look at the night sky. We see the mountains, and we see, so it's like kind of like the melding of nature and man, right? And humankind, where this is man-made and then this is nature, and then it's a beautiful card. The next card is the protagonist. So it's the same protagonist from the song card, and this is curiosity, drive, motivation. And I just love how they're just in a hall of books, because that is my dream. and just kind of this kind of ring around their aura, like kind of just this awareness of having to go off into this, this adventure, and just being the protagonist means that you're going to answer that call to adventure, or else there would be no story. So I really like this card. Last card of the deck, the Song. So heart, harmony, and messages. And I just love how music is just so healing. I'm always saying I love music, and it's just so healing. And we see how this person is performing like Reiki healing on this person, and the song is coming from their heart. Like it's, this is either it's coming from their heart, right, or it's coming from this one's heart into their heart for healing, or it could be vice versa, because when we're healing, we're giving and taking, and it's like harmony, and I'm just trying to read the words. So it's would you stay with me? Would you listen to the sound of my heart if it sings loud through you, as it sings loud through you? Would you be true? So again, it could go either way, because you can read it, would you be true, and it can read like it's going from here, and it could be going through here. So I just think it's a beautiful card, and it's very harmonious, and it's very healing. The next deck that I got, so again, we're going from most recent to least recent, is the Shadowland deck tarot, and I love this deck. I've been working with this deck to write my novel, and I have a video on that too, and it'll be somewhere. But I am using this deck to write my novel. It is a YA magical realism story, and I just love this deck. I took a long time, like I hesitated to buy the deck, and then I finally bought it, and I'm in love with it, and I'm just like, what took you so long? What took you so long? But I probably wasn't ready to get it when I first heard of it, because now I'm completely ready, and I'm loving working with it. So my first card is the Queen of Cups, and I just think this Queen of Cups is just so amazing. It's just like the crooning, like the going upward, the crooning, the guitar, and it's like we have a cup. It's I imagine it's tea to make sure that my vocals are intact, right? And again, it just goes back to this music, the emotions that we put into music, and that we attribute to music, right? Because the emotions that are coming in and out from it, it's just I'm just musical. But I love this card, this Queen of Cups, and the crooning. The next one is the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords, of course, is known for, this possible thievery, this, stealing, deception. And first of all, they're so cute. These little bags of I don't know what, right? But I love that it's taking the first five, but it's leaving the two plunged into the heart of the other one. So it's like you can't come get it back because you're dead. Like it's might be my dark side. It is a shadow deck, but I love that. I just love, like, it's just like I'm leaving two behind, but I'm leaving them stabbed to your through your heart. Like I'm taking no prisoners. I'm like making sure no one can come after me and take back what I've taken. So I really like this Seven of Swords. And lastly, I love the Devil card. The Devil. I did a myself in tarot tag, which will also be linked. And the Devil is my shadow card based on my life path number. I'm a life path number 6. And the shadow card is 15. 5 + 1 = 6. And I relate more to the Devil than I do to the Lovers, which is my birth card. And I just love this Devil card because it's just like, fuck everything. I'm gonna burn some shit up. And it's just like, we know the Devil caused all of that, right? Like we know they caused all of that, and they have their headphones on and they're just like, I don't give a fuck. And like we know they caused it because the flame is still coming from their hand, right? So it's like we know all of this havoc was, and they didn't care. And it's like sometimes that's me. Sometimes I don't give a fuck. Like I have to, I'm just burning some bridges, tearing shit to the ground, and then I'm moving on. So I really like this Devil card in the Shadowland Tarot. The next deck is the Tarot of the Divine, another deck that I'm so in love with. It's so beautiful. And it's just, I love the card stock. I just love the card stock. So I love this 10 of Wands. And I love the story behind it. Let me get the book just so that you can hear the story behind it. So 10 of Wands. And then I'll tell you like some more why I like it, why I love it. 10 of Wands. And it was so hard for the tarot for me to choose my top 3 here because I just love the whole deck. So the 10 of Wands represents taking on too much help, refusing to accept help. When Sagwa's daughter went missing, he searched alone in vain. A timbo tree grew from his ear when he died, bearing fruits he labored for but was unable to enjoy. So this is from Paraguay Guarani legend. So and that's exactly what I love about it. The skull, and it's the tree growing from the skull, not being able to enjoy all the hard work that we put into, but it's like we're still there, and there's still the reminder that we did the work, but we weren't able to enjoy it. So I love the tree growing from the root of the skull. Kind of reminds you, it's like, take a step back, stop working so needlessly, and make sure that it's you share the load, delegate. The next card I really love in the Tarot of the Divine is the 10 of Swords. I love how brutal and gruesome this card is. This person, obviously, first they murdered this person, right? All of the arrows, and it's just like on top of that, right? Like, oh, you're not dead yet. They had their fingers clinging to the boat, and they chopped off their fingers. Look at that. I love it. I don't I'm not like a serial killer or anything, but I just love the detail. And I'll read you the story. It's Canada. It's an Inuit mythology. The 10 of Swords represents backstabbing and betrayal. Sedna's father pushes her from his kayak and chops off her fingers when she tries to cling to his boat. She sinks to the bottom of the ocean and becomes consumed with wrath, eternally seeking revenge, right? So it's like her own father did this to her. So brutal and so gruesome, right? And it's just, what better card to talk about this betrayal? Like, right, there's such like the least person you would expect, like one of the least people, like your parents, right, to betray you, and then to do it in such an awful way, right? Especially when you're trying to like save yourself. So that's deep. That's deep. And the last card, and I've seen this as a favorite from like on a few people's videos too, is the Two of Cups. And it's like, why wouldn't it be a favorite? It's just, I love the cards, this Two of Cups. Like they're different people. They're male presenting, and it's just that harmony, right? Touching the foreheads, the arms cling together. Different, right, but in harmony. Let me read you the story behind the card. So this is Sumerian mythology in Iraq. So this is Enkidu and Gilgamesh. Two of Cups is an ideal relationship that still faces difficulties. Gilgamesh was a tyrant until Enkidu was created for him to be his equal in every way. Though their initial meeting was rocky, they came to love each other very much as opposites who complete each other. And we can see that so well and so beautifully in this card. It's just a beautiful card. So that is my favorite. And the final deck that I got is an oracle deck. So this is from Miss Z of Dawning Dreams. Her channel is great, and it's the Spirits of the North Divination deck. All of these decks, where I got them from, will be linked below in the description. So she made these decks. I love the backs. She does ancestral work and African spirituality, and basically these are like messages from the ancestors. So I love this deck. This one is called Initiation. So we see, so it's passing of wisdom, receiving of one's destiny, respecting taboos. So we see one elder passing on, initiating another member into the tradition, and I just love that. It makes me think of my grandmother, who was she was a priestess in the 21 divisions of Dominican Voodoo, which is derived. It is a syncretized African spiritual tradition with Catholicism. There's a whole history behind that, and the reasons behind it, you can all Google it. But this just kind of gives me into that initiation and that tradition. The next one is the Feeler. I can feel their pain and energy, picking up on everything around you, positive and negative. So as an empath, this is me on a regular basis. Just feeling too much. So I love the color spectrum, and they have their eyes closed and they're just feeling everything around them. And I just thought the card was really beautiful. And then the last card is the Altar. Give offerings, establish connection, receive a message. So I relate to this on a personal level, and I love this deck because it is what I practice. It may not be the specific branch, but it is derived from it, and ancestral veneration and recognition, and giving them offerings and libations, and having an altar with our their pictures and their and anything that reminds us of them, for us to maintain that connection, is great. And I just love this card. All right, so that is those are my 5 recent decks, the top 3 cards of my recent 5. If you want to join this tag, just hit the hashtag. And I hope to see you in other videos. This is Courageous. Peace.